Right, final lap in boost. This video I recorded when I was doing my e-bike versus regular bike speed comparison. This was the last lap that I did on boost of the Alpine Valley long loop. It skips some of the Black Diamond downhill jump trails, and it's the long loop of the cross country. It's about 8 miles and about 1,000 feet of climbing. Right. The beginning of the trail is a surprisingly quick drop-in that gets you up to speed quick before it soon starts to turn into the uphill climb. The uphill is broken with a couple of short downs. Some are surprisingly quick, even on a regular bike this is fast. We start to climb again. With the bike in boost though, and only a 3% grade, we soon get back up to speed, even though it's uphill. Going high speed into a corner to then lose it turning round and climbing uphill is a hallmark of Wisconsin trails. Here comes the crew to clear that tree. Oh, you taking that log out? Thank you. Now we get into the first initial drop after crossing the downhill black trails. After crossing the bottom of the ski run, we turned into the first really sustained uphill climb. We're at a 6 to 8% grade coming up this hill before we cross the ski run again, where it flattens off before another climb. And this climb goes up to 11%, that is. Is one way to get to the Swoops and Whoops jump trail as well. We turn onto a wider track that's full of loose stone and rock, but the e-bike, I'll admit, makes it relatively easy to get up here. Now for a straight burn across the hollow here. There's a couple of little jumps in here if you can carry the speed to do the jump. I always fail. Now we're into the third part of the initial climb. Watch your handlebar width and your aim as you cross this rock between the trees. It's actually off camber and can be quite slippy in the wet. That was a good burst of speed before we get into the last part of the initial climb. So we get to the top of the ski resort, and then we realise we're really not at the top of a hill. There's a field beside us. It turns out that Alpine Valley is really just in a hollow, and that the top of the ski resort is really a mound of dirt that's been piled there to make it higher. I always feel there should be a jump in this section of trail. Now we start to get into the backside of the resort. This is woodland away from the ski area, and the trail here twists and turns. It goes down and up and down and up, and it looks like you're riding a plate of spaghetti on the map. In a few spots you'll see some alternate lines like here, but they're few and far between, but keep your eyes out. Then new for 2022, the resort has put in this little feature here. You drop down now into a jump, into another jump. I don't know the terms. Let me know in the comments below. After some fairly flowy trail, we start a climb back up that skirts around the side of another ski run. As we enter back into the woods, the trail splits here. To the right you can take the extreme downhill Black Diamond rated trail. It's really not that extreme and it's perfectly fine for a solid intermediate. It takes an interesting alternative to the regular blue trail. And the blue that we're on now gives a fairly nice downhill with some technical features after that climb we just did. From here the trail basically twists and turns through the copse between the ski runs, and you traverse across a multitude of ski runs. So we'll skip along a bit. The trail through here, through the trees, it twists and turns and it's hard to maintain a high speed. I'm on boost and I'm doing around 13 miles an hour, but where the boost is helpful is on the climb like here, where I maintain a speed close to my average.
Nice and easy.
Again, keep your eye out for some features. There's a jump here, but good luck carrying your speed through those trees. This side of the woods starts to see some more features, like this. Call me a chicken, but to this day I still haven't done that jump. This area is stupidly twisty. Let me speed it up. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to something interesting. Alpine Valley doesn't do many berms, but here's an S pattern. It's hard to make cross-country courses exciting on video. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments below. If I suck, please tell me I suck as well, because honestly, the engagement helps the YouTube algorithm. And thank you for staying this long just to tell me I suck. Now we come to one of the more moderate downhills on the course. It may not look that fast on video. When you're diving through the trees on this narrow single track, 18 miles an hour seems pretty fast. This drop down is where you need to make a decision. Continue straight on the short loop or turn left on the long loop.
Right, now onto the long loop.
This is a pretty big mound of logs, but I guess it's rideable. After this blowdown, the trail starts its second longest climb back up. Some of it gets quite rooty. Around this corner, there's a surprise in the tree. Wisconsin doesn't really do technical with rocks. It's mostly navigating through the trees, the roots, the deadfall that's ready to skewer you in the shin. That's the technicality, and the tightness of the trails. Now we come up to a little climb that I call the chute. It's what I featured in my comparison video.
Now on to the chute again. This should be relatively easy.
At this point we reach the highest point of the course and we begin the longest descent of the ride so far. It starts out with a run down tight single track through dense vegetation. The trail here is no more than about 10 or 12 inches wide. Again, like anything in Wisconsin where elevation is a challenge, you're going to get a few uphills in the descent. Now we get into a fairly fun eroded gully descent that's a lot rougher than it looks on video. $800mm wide bars are a challenge here. You want to cut down to 760. There is a stone jump right after this green that you can't see, so keep an eye out for it. Here it is. There's some great full colours at the bottom here, but now we undulate, climbing, descending until we get to the end. Climbing back up from the bridge, we join back up with the short loop. So we're back to where we were before we joined the long loop. After a short climb we get into another short descent. This one has a bit of a hazard on the bottom, so watch out for the pink paint on the rocks and the sticking up root, and then you get into a small drop off. This is a fun rock drop. Although on this particular ride I skip it for speed, I usually smash my bottom bracket into that one. And on the short penultimate descent, we start another little descent to gain some speed to drop ledge here. And then around the corner we basically bunny hop and huck over these rocks, which gives a fairly satisfying end to the ride. After the last climb, we're back on the slopes of the ski hill. We cross and loop back on that and then get to the final downhill.
Oh.
So that was 7 miles and about 1,000 feet of the Alpine Valley long loop. It feels a lot faster on the bike than it does watching it on video. The tightness of the trees, abrasion coming through the bike from the roots hitting you, the feeling that you're about to hit a tree at any time really livens up the trail more so than it looks on video. This is actually one of my favourite trails in the southeast Wisconsin. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that look at Alpine Valley. I hope this style of cross-country video worked. Cross-country is a hard one to video and to make it exciting. Let me know in the comments below and see you on another trail.